Hello YouTube. Alright, welcome to part 6 of our cargo trailer to camper build. We're going to walk you through the electrical system, which is pretty much what I've done over the last 2 days. Installing 30 amp service, 12 volt wiring, and we also installed the kitchen area. The biggest thing I want to focus on is the electrical part. The other thing that we really want to focus on is the safety factor. When you do electrical, you want to be safe with the whole deal. That's a lot of what we want to really focus on today. So we're going to go inside, and once again I want to thank my cameraman Robbie, who is going to help me out. If I miss anything, he's going to chime in, let me
Hey,
know,
YouTube.
because there's a lot of stuff that we're doing. I'm trying to give you the best information and
In the shortest amount of time.
in the shortest amount of time. So he's going to help me out. It's like if I miss something, you're going to hear him. He's going to say, hey, this is what we missed. This is what, also extra comments. So let's go inside. Let's start off with the 30 amp breaker panel, what we did, how I did it, and how you can do it a lot cheaper than paying somebody to do it. So
Forgive me, YouTube. I'm trying to position myself through these cabinets.
alright, so basically what we did was we went to the depot, we bought a 100 amp 6-slot breaker panel. Which the 6-slot breaker panel is great for a 240 volt system. RVs are always 110. So basically what we ended up doing was, in order to get this 240 panel to work as 110, is you have to pick up every other slot. So we've got our neutral and we've got our hot coming in, and we've also added the ground bar. So basically what we did was we have 110 coming in here, and we did not get the other 110 on the other side, which would have been your 220. So basically, like I said, we've got 3 110 circuits. We're not using it as a 240 circuit, so that's what we're doing. Basically what I'm doing is one breaker is going to be for my kitchen area, the other breaker is going to be for my hot water heater, and the other breaker is going to be for the mini split once that's installed. That's why that's off, because we haven't run the wire yet, which is going to be mounted in the back on the rack system. So basically everything is, like I said, you're going to have 30 amp service. So you will have, to watch what you use, but everything's up to code. If you're going to run 20 amp service, you need to run number 12 wire. That's code. Okay, and what we did was we ran number 6 wire, which is our main supply line. Number 6 wire will run 30 amp. In theory, this would pass a residential home inspection. You got to have the right wire size. You can't just run whatever. You've got to run the right wire size to handle the load. And when we go to an RV park, regardless of the fact that I'm going to have, per se, 20, 40, 60 amps, there's only 30 amps coming in, and each circuit is going to be able to handle it. So no matter what, you're not going to have a fire, and that's the whole thing. Don't just run whatever. And also, like I said, when we bought the breaker panel, it came, where you have to do your knockouts. Make sure you use conduit clamps. Don't just run wires through the holes. They're going to chafe. This is, like I said, the proper way to run wire to meet code. So that's pretty much what we've got done. And you always want to make sure that every circuit that you're doing is going to have a GFI. Do one GFI. The first outlet that you're going to run in any circuit needs to be a GFI. You only need one. Don't do every circuit as a GFI, because it's going to build up resistance because of what they are. So one GFI for each circuit that you're going to run is all you need, and that's the best way to do it.
What's the GFI for?
A GFI is, make it simple, is a ground fault circuit interrupter. Basically, let's just say we had a hairdryer plugged in here and it fell in the sink. Before you can get electrocuted, it's going to shut it off and you're not going to know nothing. And the reason we're doing this is we have outside outlets as well. They're going to get wet. It's inevitable. But if you're going to touch something, you're not going to get electrocuted. It's going to shut the power off before anything happens to you. It's a safety device. They're expensive. They're basically $20 an outlet at this point, but it is well worth it. I needed 2 of them. It was well worth the money spent because you don't want to mess around with electric. I've done maintenance for over 20 years. I do not mess around with electrical. Do it right, do it safe, because loose wires cause fires. It's not worth what you're doing.
And the camper you save might be your own.
Exactly. So, the next part we're going to show you is what we've done with the kitchen.
Sorry for the shaking.
So, this is our kitchen area. What we actually did was we went to the depot. We were back and forth a couple times about I was going to do sheet laminate for Micah over plywood. It was expensive. I wasn't sure about the look. It's about the look for what you're looking for. And everything we're doing is pretty much natural wood, stained wood, so we were trying to keep with the same theme and the retro look. So we went to actually Lowe's, which not my typical go-to store, but we went to Lowe's and we found 1/2-inch sanded plywood. And this actually was the back side of the sanded plywood. This is actually not the side you're supposed to use, but for me it looked almost like a bamboo type look. So what we did is my kitchen area is pretty much 6.5 feet long, so we used actually the back side. Down the road we're going to show you some of Robbie's van build. He's got a 2000 Chevy Express conversion van high top that we did the same type of thing to, did a van conversion, but we use the water-based polyurethane. This time for this countertop we actually used Helmsman's Spar varnish. I think it worked out a lot nicer. It's a little bit harder to work with, not by much. Only fact is that you can't do water cleanup, but the finish is 10 times better. It made the grain pop a lot more, and but like I said, it is a little bit more money, but it was actually, I think, worth the money. So we cut this yesterday. We cut out for the sink. We cut out for the RV stove to get everything to work, and we did everything in the Helmsman's. So what we did was we were able to recycle a lot of stuff. Basically, what we did was when we cut out for the sink, this insert actually was part of the sink. So we cut it out, sanded everything really nice, did 2 coats of the Spar varnish, and now you have extra counter space. We have this counter space here, we have this, and we also incorporated a slide out countertop. That gives you tons of counter space. It's going to work for you doing your whole kitchen. The other thing also that we did was we got the RV range mounted. It took a little bit to figure it out because it overlaps. It overlaps the front, overlaps the top. It fits really nice. But we got it all to work. And I'm not going to go too in depth, but underneath this you flip it up, and it also does have its mounting points. So we got that done.
Microwave.
Yeah, yes. The microwave that we have down here, it's a typical 1100 watt microwave oven. It's mounted. It's not going to move. We used same thing, hurricane straps on the back and the front to mount it. The other thing also we did was when we ran all the wire is we zip tied it. I don't know if you want to come down here, Robbie. Is everything, if you look along the bottom of the floor, everything is zip tied. When you zip tied, go to the depot and they have zip ties that actually have mounting holes where you can attach them to something. You zip them tight, the whole 9 yards. I am going to be doing a point of use hot water heater in here. Haven't got it yet, but what we ended up doing was I wired this so that this outlet always has power. This outlet, I flip the switch on for when I have the hot water heater. It's going to give power to the hot water heater. Turn it off, you're all set to go. So that's where we're at this point. What we did was we mounted the countertop underneath the front side with a couple of screws. Everything else we used Grab It. I love Grab It. We put some weight down, let it dry up nice, and that's got it mounted. The other thing that we're going to do is over on this end is we're going to do a little flip-up table. This way when you're sitting on the back sofa area, you have a place to put some drinks and whatever. The one thing, and a lot of people aren't going to like it, and there is no right or wrong, is we're not doing an actual dining table. Because of the way my build is and what I was looking for, a table was not going to work because you would never be able to get into the seating area. But what we are going to do is right here by this big window is we're going to basically do a flip-up table, which we'll show you hopefully in the next video. It's going to be a pantry. It's going to be about 6 inches deep, and the cover is actually going to flip up, and we should have about a 24-inch flip-up table. That's going to work for us. Like I said, there's no right or wrong. It's what works for you, and this is for us what works for us. Hiding the wires. That's the other tricky part, is trying to hide the wires. This is my low voltage wiring. I'm going to have a light over here over the kitchen sink, and I need one in the bathroom. So what we did was I ran the low voltage wiring up into the cabinet, and I did have to split it. This is going to go to the bathroom. This is the wiring that goes to the light that's over the kitchen sink. And same thing, I zip tied everything, attached everything, and it's gonna work. You know, it's a matter of what you're looking for. So basically my thought at this point is like, subscribe, and God bless, amen, and thank you very much for my cameraman, and he's got a comment.
And we do have a favor to ask of the audience, something that you guys probably know that we don't.
Oh, true. Yeah, we tried to script this as much as we could before we do the videos, but the one thing we're trying to do is, this is not our first project, but this is our first project doing videos for YouTube. We've done boat builds, we did Robbie's van build, we've done tons of stuff. We've got lots of pictures. We're just not sure what is the best editing program for being able to take pictures as we go along, be able to talk over them, to tell you what are you looking at. Because I've watched a lot of videos where I just watch pictures. No, I want to hear what you have to say.
And it is for Android, please. And
for Android, yeah. So what we're trying to find out is if you have a good recommendation for a video editing program where we can take, we have probably 200 pictures or more of our boat build, which is basically this, just in a boat, where we can do this for you as well. So please comment, tell me what editing programs you recommend that will work for Android, and that would be great. Big help for us. Like I said, this is our first time doing a YouTube channel build, and I can do the build. I'm not a tech guy. I could use your input, so please.
And we don't edit. We don't edit any of this. This is just filmed raw, and it's posted however it comes out.
It's nonstop because we don't know how to edit the video. But our thing is, we want to get the information out there. That's our biggest goal. But we would like to be able to add some more videos. Because like I said, we've done Robbie's van build. We've done boat builds. We've done lots of different things along this line. We just have pictures, no video, which. So, like I said, please help us out. Give us whatever you got, and thank you very much, and amen.
Got one more thing for you. The 30 amp to the 110.
30 amp to 110. Yep, let's do that. All right, so here's our 30 amp. We were lucky that we had a friend who had some number 6 wire that we were able to use for our shore power. So basically what we do is we put a RV plug on the end, and obviously I don't have 30 amp here in my garage, so this is basically what they call a dog bone. It goes from the 30 amp connector that the camper's going to always have to 15 amp.
Pull it in the sun, Dave. I don't think I'm getting it.
And so basically that's what it is. So you got a 15 amp connector here, and when they're new, yeah. But anyway, it's going to be okay. So,
Raw footage.
Yeah, raw footage. There's your 30 amp, which is what your RV is going to typically use. If you build your own, if you buy one, typically it's going to be this configuration, which is 30 amp. Now, if you go to a friend's house, they're not going to have that connection. You're going to be able to plug into their household outlet, which is a standard 20 amp outlet, and you can have limited use. It'll run your AC and it'll work. But I got this at Harbor Freight, which I love Harbor Freight. Kudos to them. $6, I believe, for this, and it's definitely a necessity. When you have an RV, you've got to have one of these because you're not going to always have 30 amp. So I believe that was the last part that we need to cover.
I believe that covers it.
All right. Anyway, YouTube, thank you very much, and Robbie's showing you
Just a quick tease, I guess.
a quick tease. Like I said, if you want to see how we built this and what we started with, please tell me how to edit our pictures, and you will see a series on this as well. Thank you very much. Amen, and God bless.
God bless.